Yo, what is up? Frontlines is back. The final week, the last stretch. We can get our reward tanks pretty soon. I've had a couple of hours of really bad, really tough Frontlines experience. That is because of the recent flash sale of the EBR 75s. I had such terrible experience, especially the first 3 games in my in the episode 4 of Frontlines. It was so bad that I just raged quit and just sat out for a couple of hours. Let me tell you about that journey. Now, if you're here for the first time, please do consider subscribing and giving this video a like. This is the best way you can support my channel, and let me tell you, I appreciate that very much. Let's get on with the story. Now, the first 3 games I had in Frontlines respectively were 17 minutes, 18 minutes and 20 minutes. All 3 games were below 20 minutes, and a total of 4 generals were made in those 3 games on both teams. That was how bad it was. Now, in this game, we were attacking in craftwork, and immediately I get shot on the side by this Burrasque that somehow managed to flank without any of my teammates noticing. While I was shooting that guy, no one was covering my side, and I already had a bad feeling about this game. It didn't look like we have enough guys on this corner of the Bravo objective in order to contest this position, so I had to contend with sitting in this position and trying to hold the enemy back for as long as possible. Now, like I was saying, Wargaming had a flash sale just a couple of days before Frontlines, and in the flash sale was the EBR 75. So there was a sea of EBR 75s. Oh, I took a big hit there from the charioteer, but that's okay, at least I landed one shot. There was a flash sale of EBR 75s, so there was a lot of EBR 75s running around, and at that moment when that flash sale was going on, I was also testing out the ISU 152K, and that is also one of the reasons why I had kind of like a rough experience with the ISU 152K. On the first day I was testing out that tank, the EBRs were running around, 3-4 EBRs on each side of the team in random battles, so you had 8 EBRs running around. You're in a tank with no mobility, no turret, and you're trying to shoot EBRs. It was really tough. A lot of games ended with a lopsided games, 15-1, 15-2, 15-3 games. Either you are in the winning team, or if you are unfortunate, you're in the losing team. But this EBR's clearly a problem in tier 8, clearly a problem in tier 10. I know Wargaming knows this is a problem. Why they choose to do nothing about it is still beyond me. I know there are economic factors in relation to this part of the story, but at what cost? Will you lose your game because people are frustrated that they cannot do anything? They can't fight an EBR that's circling you. They can't compete, or they're not enjoying themselves because of what the EBR's wheeled tanks bring to the table. It's not like they're overpowered or anything, but they have a significant mobility advantage, and if you're in anything other than a medium tank, it's really difficult for you to defend yourself. Now, especially in a game mode like Frontlines, where the map is huge, these EBRs, what they do is just capture in they're in wolf packs, 5 of them. They will capture any objective that is unguarded. If you're having a huge fight in Bravo right now, they will just hop on to Alpha or Charlie and cap it out, and then move on, push forward. And there is really nothing you can do except if you're really experienced, you try to chase them down, you try to suicide and spawn into another side and try to slow down that push. But it is really difficult if you are, especially if you are alone. You can't even do it if you're alone, because if you're just by yourself, if you're just the only guy trying to stop the enemy capture in EBRs or Lynxes, it is really difficult for you to stop that that wave, that tide, that momentum is really difficult to put an end to it. So I had a miserable 3 games. Now after the 3rd game, it kind of like eased up a little bit, but there are still plenty of games that end up in 15-16 minutes. I don't know about you guys. How was your experience? I'd like to know what's going on. It also doesn't help that I had a completely noob team that have no idea what they're doing. Now this is me getting really frustrated here. I know you can cap this out because there's nobody here. All you need to do is just get to that wall into relative safety. If there's 2 or 3 guys, I took a big hit there, which I shouldn't have. Now if I didn't take that hit, I maybe could have survived a little bit longer, but nevertheless, it's just somebody getting in here and applying the pressure in order to cap this out. Now I already realized that we're not going to win this game while I was in before I got into the projector. I mean, while I was still in Bravo. In fact, when I took the first shot from the Burrasque, who managed to sneak by to my side in the Bravo objective, I already had a feeling that we were going to lose this game, because that shouldn't have happened in the first place. If you have the slightest idea how this game mode works, that shouldn't have happened to begin with. Look at this guy. He's driving, taking his own sweet time in a heavy tank, or you know, whatever medium heavy tank. It is a heavy tank, I think. And he's making his way all the way up here, and there's no one shooting at him. That Udas there, paying no attention. There is a Scorpion, but that Scorpion is like firing HE at him or some shit, because he only did 156 damage. I just don't understand. But this guy is just taking his time here, firing twice at me, pulling back, and that Scorpion fires HE at him again for another 150 damage. Clearly that guy in that Scorpion G has just hopped into the premium shop, picked himself up a Scorpion G and maybe an EBR, and decided, hey, Frontlines is for me. Let's go have fun. Maybe for him then it's fun, but here I am on a mission, trying to earn as much credits as possible, try to get my 2 or 3 tokens to get my reward tank. I only need 2 tokens because I already have 10 points, right? We got compensated 1 token because of the Wargaming's fuck up on the first day of 2020 Frontlines. Everybody got compensated 1 token, right? So you only need 2 tokens. All you need to do is reach level 10 for this episode 4, and you would have 12 tokens and enough tokens to get your first reward tank. Now I decided not to give up, died in the projector, hop into my LT432 and immediately cap out the same position again. I know this flank is weak, that is why I'm doing this, and also I'm doing this because I have 1 more tank in reserve, so if in case this didn't work out, I would still be able to respawn in without, you know, sitting in the garage for too long. But thankfully we've done that successfully, so we've ranked up to Lieutenant. Now I told you this was I've been switching up my strategy to a credit earning strategy, which means I have dropped the engineering directive 4 spotter planes. Now the engineering directive is a really powerful directive. It's really useful. Oh my god, he jammed my turret. I need to fix my turret and get to his side quickly so that I can try and juke him there a little bit. Looks like I managed to juke him there just enough for me to ammo rack him or whatever. But what was I talking about? Yeah, I sacrificed the engineering, which is a really powerful directive. This is the spotter planes that I'm using, and the reason why I'm using the spotter planes instead of engineering is because I want to try and earn that residual damage, or that assisted damage, spotting damage, which adds up to the total damage and gives me some kind of credit multiplier, helps me earn more credits. As you can see, I am platooned up in a full 3-man platoon. Of course, the full 3-man platoon gives me 15% extra credit bonus, and that's the only reason why I'm in a platoon. So I get extra 15% credit bonus there. I have my clan boosters on, which give me an extra 30% credit boosters, and I have personal boosters going on, which give me an extra 50% credit boosters. So my target is trying to average around 550 to 600,000 credits per game. In my previous strategy, where I used engineering and inspire as my skills that I used, I was averaging around 450 to 500,000 credits per game. I'm trying to raise it up another 100,000 credits per game. Try to farm as much credits as possible with the spotter planes. In doing so, I gave up engineering. Engineering is really powerful, and I will tell you why. If you are not 100% sure or confident of pulling off spotter planes, I suggest you stick to engineering. Engineering is pretty difficult to play with, not because you cannot earn a lot of spotting damage, but because you are sacrificing engineering. Engineering is, I just realized that without engineering, after not using engineering for a couple of days now, from the last episode and today, I realized that engineering is one of the most powerful tools in this game mode, and that's because engineering, it helps you cool down your repair station a lot quicker. It helps you if you're sitting in the cap circle and capping out, it'll cap out faster because of engineering. If you are sitting in the cap circle trying to deny the enemy from capping out, it'll help out a lot stronger. Oh my god, this Buras standard APCR shells, the penetration is absolutely trash. Wasted 2 shots there on a T69. Was that a T69? Anyway, I'll reload and try again, and you're gonna see me not penetrate 2 shots again. But like I was saying, engineering is very important. If you are not at all confident about what you're doing with spotter planes, I suggest you stick to engineering, because engineering is really useful. It'll help you cap faster, it'll help you rank up a lot faster. Spotter planes help you earn more assisted damage. Yes, if you deploy it properly, or if you use them properly, if you're lucky. But engineering, I think overall is more useful. I realized that I needed to work extra hard to make these spotter planes worthwhile. For me to make them successful, like earning 650, 700,000 credits, I really needed to work really hard, and I needed a lot more luck on my side. Why? Because it took me a longer time to rank up to general. With engineering, instead of spotter planes, you will rank up consistently below 20 minutes. Around the 15 to 20 minute mark, you could rank up to general quite easily if you are just, you know, consistently capping, or you're consistently shooting people that are decapping, or, you know, shooting people that are in the cap if you are defending, that is. So ranking up to general was, I wouldn't say it's simpler or easier. It's never easy. It's always hard work to rank up to general. You need to know what you're doing. You need to play with the meta, but with engineering it helps you out, and it makes that job it happens a lot quicker, let's put it this way. Now you see me using our airstrike here. This is actually by accident. I meant to click on Inspirer when I, you know, boosted up, when I used the coins to boost up that that skill thing, but I accidentally clicked on airstrikes instead, so I just made do with what I had. I had airstrikes. You know, you got lemons, you make lemonade, so that's what I did. Try not to use airstrikes. Use Inspirer. That is a lot more helpful, because the Inspire is going to help you reload a lot quicker. It's going to inspire those around you. You will earn a lot more assisted damage with Inspirer. So Inspirer and engineering is your best bet. In fact, I think it is the most widely used directives for most players who know how to game this system, or you know, learn how to who know how to maximize their potential in this game mode. It's always going to be engineering and Inspirer. This spotter planes, it is working out for me. I do earn a lot of spotting damage. As you can see, I'm up to 4,000 assisted damage right now. Partially with my own spotting, of course, but a lot of it also with the spotter planes. Now, like I mentioned earlier in the previous videos, spotting with your own tank and spotting with the spotter planes yield different kinds of credit multipliers. I believe credit multipliers are higher if you spot them by yourself with your own tank, with your own view range. If you use spotter planes, the multipliers, the ratio is going to be slightly less. I don't know how to prove this, but I'm pretty sure that's true, because that's through my own, you know, I look at the results and I study it. I know how much I spotted and shit. And also, when you use the spotter planes, the damage, the assisted damage that you get, it gets added up together with your own spotting. You know, there's in the results page, there is two categories of spotting. One is your own spotting, and the other is, they call it spotting with directives or something like that, which if I understood correctly, it should be what you spotted with your spotter planes. But when I cross-reference it with my results, I noticed that my spotting that I did with the spotter planes and my actual spotting with my own tank, they get mixed up together in the same category of my own spotting. The first column of spotting, that is the main spotting results, it gets mixed up together, and I don't know why it happens. Is there a bug? I don't understand why is it that way. But below that spotting damage, there is also a spotting with directives, which also has some value. Some of the spotting goes into that category as well, and I don't understand why they can't get it correct. Why is it that some of my spotter planes results or assisted damage gets added into my actual spotting results as well? So I don't understand how that worked. It's still a mystery to me until today, but here I am. I am ranked up to major already, but the game has already surpassed 20 minutes, more than 20 minutes. So I'm only ranked major. The last cap is going to be capped soon. The game is only 55 seconds left in the game. Now, the game could have ended and I would have only ranked up to major at this point, and that would have been a huge bummer to my credit multipliers if I was trying to earn a lot of credits, which I am. So I am trying to be as aggressive as I am. You know, part of my strategy, like I always share with you guys, is during the last periods of the game, if you still have reserve tanks in your reserves, use those reserve tanks. If you died, go forward, use your HP to get HP. Now you can see I'm ranked major. There is 9 seconds left on the clock, but thankfully some of my teammates are in the Foxtrot objective, which means there's going to be some extra time, and we have 1 minute and 30 seconds of extra time. Trying to make the most of it, do as much damage as possible, and that's exactly what I'm doing. I'm trying to survive as much as possible. If I draw forward, I'm going to be toast because there's so many of them right in front there. So what I'm trying to do is here, trying to pseudo side scrape a little bit, pretend that I have a little bit of armor, use these boxes, use these container boxes here, see if I can survive for as long as I can, see if I can do a little bit more damage. My gun is not really reloading very fast because I've used up all my 3 shells, and I am on the slow reload in the projectile, the first shell. I've done over 7,000 damage, 4.3 assisted damage. They're using airstrikes on me. Luckily I backed out a little bit, or maybe I'm you know, behind these boxes, so it's difficult for them to airstrike me or bomb me out. But I misclicked there a little bit. I thought I was deploying the deploying the spotter planes, but deploy one last spotter plane, see if I can get a little bit more assisted damage. Try to run away from this situation because those guys are just waiting for me. If I push forward, see if I can get away. I saw a little opening there, maybe I can drive across. Got myself tracked, so this is GG for me. I am halfway up major. There is 2 minutes and 40 seconds left on the clock. I need to get a little bit more damage so that I can rank up to general. Like I mentioned to you earlier, my first 3 games in Frontlines were 17 minutes, 18 minutes, 20 minutes, 4 generals total on both teams in all 3 games. Very difficult to get generals because the games were so short, so quick. Everybody was in EBRs and links 6x6s. I made a little mistake here. I should have stopped there and farmed that LT432 instead of driving forward here and facing a Scorpion G. I should have stayed there and just farmed as much damage as I could. Instead I am sat here now in the middle of crossfire, tanks to my left, tanks to my right. There is a Centurion or a RACC or whatever this is. It's not looking good. I'm down to a 1 shot. See if I can fire off 1 more shot. I do, but I died. I am dead. 8 seconds, 7 seconds left on the clock before my my next respawn tank arrives. Thankfully it does arrive, but I still need to wait another 15 seconds in the garage for my last tank to arrive. Look at the clock. There is 1 minute 10 seconds left in this game. I am like 2 shots away from making general. Please spawn in quickly. Look at my rank. I had a lot of games where I am 1 shot, just like this, 1 shot, 2 shots away from making general. With this new credit strategy that I'm using, if I'm using engineering as a directive, I would have been made a general already. I am pretty confident of that, but I'm leaving it right to the last second. I'm in the LT432, pretty quick tank. I want to fly down here and attack the a Scorpion G, but I'm pretty sure I would kill myself if I made that jump. Again, I wanted to make this jump here just to have the shortcut. Try to finish off this Scorpion G so that I can get the kill and rank up, but for some reason I bounce him, so let's just ram this guy. Yeah, 41 damage, yes, it got me over the line, and that is just what I need. I rammed him with that in mind, you know, just try to get as whatever little damage that I can, track him, whatever, get some assisted damage, just get me over the line and get me into general and general of the army. I also got the big dick badge because I'm the only general on my team. Even though this was a fairly long game, I think it was 26 minutes plus, only 479,000 credits. Really disappointed with that. I could have gotten 479 damage with engineering as a directive instead of those spotter planes. Anyway, hope you enjoyed this video, hope you took something from it. I'll see you on the next video. Bye bye.